5 true horror ghost stories from the USA. Here are 5 chilling tales of paranormal encounters, reportedly based on true events from across the United States. 1. The Sallie House, Atchison, Kansas. The Sallie House in Atchison, Kansas, is notorious for its aggressive and often malevolent paranormal activity, making it one of the most documented and terrifying haunted locations in the United States. Its history stretches back to the late 19th century. When it was built in 1867, the house gained widespread notoriety in the early 1990s when a young couple, Deborah and Tony Pickman, rented the property. They moved in with their infant son, unaware of the dark history that permeated the walls. Initially, the activity was subtle: flickering lights, unexplained noises, and objects moving slightly. However, it quickly escalated, with Tony Pickman becoming the primary target of a malicious entity. He experienced a horrifying array of physical attacks, including deep scratches appearing on his back, chest, and arms, often in front of witnesses. Burns, some resembling claw marks, would mysteriously appear on his skin. Objects, from small trinkets to heavier items, were frequently thrown across rooms, sometimes narrowly missing him. The attacks were almost exclusively directed at Tony, while Deborah and their son were largely left unharmed, though they witnessed the terrifying events unfold around him. The activity was initially attributed to the spirit of a young girl named Sally, who supposedly died in the house during a botched appendectomy in the late 1800s. Local legend claims Sally, a child of about 6 or 7, was rushed to the house for an emergency surgery, but died on the operating table. Early paranormal investigations and psychic readings suggested Sally was a playful, yet mischievous, spirit. However, as the attacks on Tony intensified and grew more violent, many began to suspect a darker, more sinister presence was at play. Investigators theorized that while Sally might indeed be present, a malevolent adult male spirit was the true aggressor, perhaps preying on Tony due to his gender or perceived vulnerability. This theory gained traction as the attacks became increasingly aggressive and sexual in nature, far beyond what one would expect from a child's ghost. The house itself contributes to the eerie atmosphere. Its Victorian architecture, with dark wood and narrow hallways, seems to amplify the sense of dread. Many visitors report feeling an oppressive weight upon entering, a feeling of being watched, and sudden drops in temperature. Electronic equipment often malfunctions, batteries drain rapidly, and voices are frequently captured on recording devices. Paranormal teams have documented numerous instances of intelligent responses to questions, disembodied whispers, and even full-bodied apparitions. The nursery room, in particular, is a hotbed of activity, with toys moving on their own and a palpable sense of a child's presence. Despite the terror it has inflicted, the Sallie House remains a popular, albeit terrifying, destination for paranormal investigators, thrill-seekers, and curious tourists. Its reputation as one of America's most genuinely haunted locations continues to draw individuals hoping to experience the chilling phenomena firsthand. The Pickmans eventually moved out, unable to endure the relentless torment, but the house's dark legacy endures, a constant reminder of the thin veil between our world and the unseen. The stories of Tony's suffering serve as a stark warning to anyone who dares to cross the threshold of the Sallie House, a place where the dead refuse to rest. 2. The Whaley House, San Diego, California. Often cited as one of the most haunted houses in America, the Whaley House in Old Town San Diego, California, is a historical landmark with a grim and deeply unsettling history. Built in 1857 by Thomas Whaley, a prominent businessman, the house stands on land that was once a public gallows. This morbid foundation set the stage for the paranormal activity that would plague the property for generations. Before the house was even fully completed, a notorious criminal named Yankee Jim Robinson was hanged on the property for grand larceny. His execution was poorly managed, resulting in a slow and agonizing death, and his spirit is widely believed to be the first spectral resident of the Whaley House. Visitors and staff have consistently reported seeing Yankee Jim's apparition, often described as a tall man with a long beard, particularly in the courtroom area, which was once the site of his hanging. The distinct sound of heavy footsteps, often accompanied by a dragging sound, is frequently heard on the upper floors, believed to be Yankee Jim pacing his eternal prison. Cold spots, sudden gusts of wind indoors, and inexplicable drafts are also common occurrences attributed to his lingering presence. The Whaley family themselves also contribute to the house's spectral population. Thomas Whaley, his wife Anna, and several of their children lived and died within its walls, experiencing their own share of tragedies. Their daughter Violet, a sensitive and artistic young woman, tragically committed suicide in the house in 1885, adding another layer of sorrow to its history. The spirits of Thomas and Anna Whaley are frequently reported. Thomas is often seen in the den or near the staircase, sometimes accompanied by the faint scent of cigar smoke. Anna is said to be a more benevolent presence, often associated with the smell of lavender and the sound of a rustling skirt. The sounds of a baby crying are also frequently heard, believed to be the spirit of their infant son, Thomas Jr., who died in the house at a young age. The house served many purposes over the years, including a general store, San Diego's first commercial theater, and the county courthouse, each adding to its layered history and potentially attracting more lingering spirits. The courtroom, in particular, is a hotbed of activity, with reports of disembodied voices, phantom laughter, and the feeling of unseen presences. The theater, where many performances took place, is also known for unexplained noises and the feeling of being watched by an unseen audience. Paranormal investigators have flocked to the Whaley house for decades, capturing electronic voice phenomena, unexplained fluctuations on electromagnetic field meters, and even photographic evidence of anomalies. Guests on tours have reported being touched, having their hair pulled, and experiencing sudden feelings of dread or exhilaration. The house's original furnishings and personal effects of the Whaley family remain, creating an immersive historical experience that is amplified by the palpable sense of the supernatural. The Whaley house stands as a testament to the enduring power of history and tragedy, a place where the past is not merely remembered, but actively experienced through the presence of its spectral inhabitants. Its chilling reputation continues to draw those brave enough to step inside and confront the spirits that refuse to leave. 3. The Myrtles Plantation, St. Francis, Louisiana. The Myrtles Plantation, an exquisite antebellum home nestled in the picturesque landscape of St. Francis, Louisiana, is widely regarded as one of America's most haunted houses. Built in 1796 by General David Bradford, it is steeped in a dark and complex history of violence, betrayal, and tragedy, which has given rise to numerous chilling tales of spectral residents. Local lore suggests the plantation was built over an ancient Native American burial ground, a common precursor to paranormal activity in many haunted locations, potentially disturbing ancient spirits and adding to the house's energetic imprint. The most famous and frequently cited ghost is Chloe, a slave girl with a distinctive green turban. The legend surrounding Chloe is particularly grim. She was allegedly caught eavesdropping on her master, Judge Clark Woodruff, and had her ear cut off as punishment. Seeking revenge, Chloe is said to have baked a cake containing crushed oleander leaves, a potent poison, intending to sicken the judge. However, the cake was consumed by the judge's wife, Sarah Matilda, and their 2 young daughters, who all tragically died. Other versions of the story suggest Chloe was trying to cure an illness or simply seeking to gain favor. Regardless of her true intent, upon discovering the deaths, the other slaves, fearing repercussions from the judge, reportedly hanged Chloe from a tree on the property. Her spectral image is famously said to appear in photographs taken at the plantation, often seen peeking around corners or in windows, and she has been seen wandering the grounds, a constant reminder of her tragic fate. Beyond Chloe, the Myrtles Plantation is said to be home to at least 12 other distinct ghosts. Visitors and staff have reported a wide array of phenomena. A young girl, believed to be one of the Woodruff daughters, is often seen peering out of windows, particularly in the children's room. The ghost of a Confederate soldier, mortally wounded during the Civil War and brought to the house, is frequently reported on the staircase, sometimes ascending or descending, his presence marked by a sudden drop in temperature. The sounds of a piano playing on its own are a common occurrence, believed to be the spirit of a former owner, Sarah Woodruff, who loved to play. The plantation's history is marred by violence. It is rumored that at least 10 murders occurred on the property, though historical records only definitively confirm one. The shooting of Ruffin Gray Sterling, a later owner, on the porch in 1871. His dying struggles are said to be replayed nightly, with visitors hearing footsteps and groans. The bloodstain on the floor of the main hall, despite repeated attempts to clean or replace the floorboards, allegedly reappears, a permanent mark of the violence that transpired. The beautiful facade of the Myrtles plantation, with its grand columns, sprawling and moss-dropped oak trees, belies the dark and turbulent past hidden within its walls. The atmosphere inside is often described as heavy and oppressive, with many feeling a sense of unease or being watched. Paranormal investigators have captured numerous EVPs, photographic anomalies, and personal experiences of being touched or hearing disembodied voices. The plantation operates as a bed and breakfast, allowing guests to spend the night in its haunted rooms, often leading to first-hand encounters with its spectral inhabitants. The Myrtles plantation remains a chilling testament to the enduring power of human suffering and the belief that some souls are simply too restless to ever truly leave. 4. The Stanley Hotel, Estes Park, Colorado. Perched majestically in the Rocky Mountains, overlooking the picturesque town of Estes Park, Colorado, the Stanley Hotel is not only a grand historic landmark, but also one of the most famously haunted hotels in the world. Its elegant facade and stunning views belie a deep history of paranormal activity, most notably as the inspiration for Stephen King's iconic horror novel, The Shining. King himself stayed in room 217 in 1974, and his unsettling experiences there directly fueled the terrifying narrative of the Overlook Hotel. The hotel's original owners, Freeland, Oscar Stanley and his wife Flora, are widely believed to be the most active and benevolent spirits residing within its walls. F.O. Stanley, the inventor of the Stanley steamer automobile, built the hotel in 1909 as a grand resort for the wealthy, hoping the fresh mountain air would alleviate his tuberculosis. Flora, a talented pianist, is frequently heard playing her beloved piano in the music room, her spectral melodies drifting through the halls, particularly at night. Guests and staff have reported seeing F.O. in the billiard room, sometimes accompanied by the scent of his pipe tobacco, and in the reception area, seemingly overseeing his grand creation. Their presence is often described as playful and welcoming, rather than malevolent. However, the hotel is also home to a myriad of other spirits, and not all are as benign. Guests report a wide range of phenomena: objects moving on their own, lights flickering inexplicably, and disembodied voices whispering in empty rooms. The fourth floor, in particular, is a hotbed of activity, believed to be home to several mischievous child spirits who are known to play pranks, such as hiding belongings or giggling in the hallways. Room 217, where Stephen King stayed, remains one of the most requested and active rooms. Guests who stay there report luggage being unpacked, items rearranged, lights turning on and off, and even the feeling of an unseen presence getting into bed with them. The ghost of Elizabeth Wilson, a former housekeeper who was injured in an explosion in the room in 1911, is said to be responsible for these occurrences, particularly disliking unmarried couples sharing the bed. Room 401, another highly active location, is associated with Lord Dun, a previous owner of the land, and is known for its intense cold spots and the feeling of being watched. The concert hall, built in 1909, is also a focal point of paranormal activity. Apparitions of figures attending a ball, the sounds of phantom conversations, and the distinct scent of perfume have been reported. Many believe the spirits of former staff and guests from the hotel's heyday continue to enjoy the festivities. The hotel offers guided ghost tours, allowing visitors to explore the most active areas and learn about the chilling history and numerous spectral encounters. The Stanley Hotel's enduring legacy as a haunted destination is a testament to the countless personal experiences reported by guests, staff, and paranormal investigators alike. Its majestic beauty and historical significance are intertwined with a pervasive sense of the supernatural, making it a place where the veil between worlds seems particularly thin. For those seeking a chilling encounter with the unknown, the Stanley Hotel promises an experience that is both grand and genuinely terrifying, a place where the past truly lives on. 5. Eastern State Penitentiary, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Once the most expensive and famous prison in the world, Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, stands as a chilling monument to a dark chapter in penal history. Operating from 1829 to 1971, it was designed with a revolutionary, yet ultimately flawed, system of solitary confinement, intended to encourage penitence and reform through isolation. Instead, the extreme solitude often led to severe mental breakdowns, madness, and despair among its inmates. Today, the imposing Gothic structure is a crumbling ruin, its decaying walls and empty cell blocks echoing with the suffering of those who were confined within, leaving a profound and terrifying paranormal imprint. The sheer scale of human misery and the innovative, yet cruel, methods of its operation have made Eastern State Penitentiary one of America's most genuinely terrifying and active haunted locations. Visitors and staff consistently report a wide array of paranormal phenomena. Disembodied voices, often whispers or moans, are frequently heard emanating from empty cells and dark corridors. Shadowy figures are seen lurking in the decaying cell blocks, darting just out of sight or standing motionless in the periphery. The sound of distant screams, believed to be the echoes of past torments, can send shivers down the spine of even the most hardened skeptic. Cell Block 12, known as Death Row, is particularly active, with a palpable sense of dread and despair. Inmates who died here, often by suicide or violence, are believed to linger. The infirmary, where countless prisoners suffered and died from disease, injury, or the psychological toll of their confinement, is another hotbed of activity. Reports include phantom cries of pain, the clang of unseen medical instruments, and the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. The Hall, a punishment cell where inmates were deprived of light and human contact, is said to be intensely oppressive, with many reporting feelings of suffocation or extreme anxiety upon entering. The prison's history is filled with infamous inmates, including Al Capone, whose cell is a popular stop on tours. While Capone himself reportedly experienced paranormal activity during his incarceration, it is the collective suffering of thousands of lesser-known prisoners that truly fuels the penitentiary's haunting. The constant psychological torture of solitary confinement, combined with physical abuse and the harsh realities of prison life, created an environment saturated with negative energy. Paranormal investigators have flocked to Eastern State for decades, armed with advanced equipment. They have captured compelling electronic voice phenomena, where clear voices respond to questions from unseen entities. Unexplained fluctuations on electromagnetic field meters are common, indicating unseen energy. Thermal imaging cameras have captured unexplained heat signatures, and photographic anomalies, such as orbs and misty figures, are frequently reported. Many visitors describe an overwhelming feeling of sadness, anger, or fear upon entering certain areas, suggesting a powerful residual haunting where emotions and events from the past are imprinted on the environment. Eastern State Penitentiary now operates as a museum, offering tours that educate visitors about its history and the evolution of the American penal system, alongside its reputation as a haunted site. Its crumbling architecture, eerie silence, and the pervasive sense of a tragic past make it a truly immersive and terrifying experience. For those brave enough to walk its desolate halls, Eastern State Penitentiary offers a chilling glimpse into a world of profound human suffering, where the spirits of the incarcerated seem to remain forever trapped within its formidable walls.